Good morning, guys. We are working with MBT 7 today, or sorry, not MBT, NF 7. You can tell where my mind is for the morning. This is division of a fraction. This is actually one of my kids from last year's favorite thing to do, because there's a different thing. There's a different little trick that they teach with this. They love division or fraction. The only problem is you have to realize when the fractions are calling for you to divide rather than doing it out. But the key word here is KCF. Okay. And KCF means to keep, change, and flip. So this is not Kentucky Fried Chicken. It's not KFC like the restaurant. It switches the C and the F. So it's keep chicken fried, or Kentucky chicken fried, as my kids called it last year. They loved division. So when we're working with this, the first thing you're going to do, the first number is you're always going to keep. So the first number you're going to keep. Okay. So this is 1/2, and I'm dividing it by 1/2. Okay. So then I'm going to keep the first number. What I'm going to change is this is no longer a division. This will now be changed into a multiplication. That's what the change means. So it's now being multiplied. And then when it means to flip it, what I'm going to end up doing is instead of my last number, instead of it being 1/2, it's now going to be 2/1. Okay, so this is how you'll do it. You'll keep the first number, you'll change your division, and then you'll flip your last one. So let's go ahead and look at this. Adam has 3 meters of fabric. He plans to cut the fabric into 1.5 meters. How many pieces of fabric will Adam have? Now, what my kids also struggled last year with is which number to put first. Just because you're reading it this way doesn't mean you're always going to put the 3 and 1/2 in that order. It might work out like that, but doesn't always have to fall in that way. So I always like to draw, here's my 3 meters, and he wants to plan to cut them into 1/4 pieces. Well, there's my 3 meters, and I want to break them into 4s. And if you can visualize it, you could probably figure out what the answer is going to be. So what I'm going to do is, I have 3 meters of fabric. I'm going to divide by 1/4. To solve this problem, I'm going to make sure that my whole number is over 1. And you'll remember that we're going to keep, change, and flip. So we're going to keep the 3 over the 1. What are we going to do with the division sign? We're going to change it into you should have chosen multiplication sign. And then you're going to flip the 1 and the 4. The 4 being on top then, the 1 being on the bottom. And now we just do a regular hamburger method. And 3 times 4 is 12/1. So how many pieces, because it says pieces, how many pieces of fabric will Adam have? You should have typed 12 into your ed puzzle there. Okay, so and the way to check this multiplication table is if you were to take 1/4 times 12, because you're working with your answer, times 1/4, you would have gotten 3. And that would have given you over here. Okay, so you're just checking it with multiplication. Question number 2. Sierra shares half a pizza equally among herself and 3 friends. What fraction of the whole pizza will she get? So I still like to draw it. I have half a pizza, and I'm going to split it between 3 friends. Okay, now when you're looking at this picture, you can't really tell how many. You could possibly figure it out if you can see it visually in your head. But we're going to divide this. We're going to take half the pizza. That's all she had. We can't put the 3 first because we can't split the 3 friends. We can split the half of the pizza, but we can't split the friends. So I'm going to take the half of the pizza, and I'm going to divide by 3. Remember that 3 goes over 1. This is my original equation. So now what's my first thing going to be? If you go over and you're going to type what the K means over in Ed Puzzle, K means, keep. You're going to keep your first number. The division becomes a multiplication sign. And the 3 over the 1 will now become 1 third. So now take a moment and figure out how much each person will get. Okay? To check it with multiplication, I'm going to take my 1/2 and I'm going to times it by, nope, sorry, not 1/2. I'm going to take 1/2. I'm going to take the 1/6 and I'm going to times it by the 3 people because that's how much each person got. And I would get 3/6, which is equal to 1/2, which is what I started with up here. That's how you'll check your multiplication. You'll take this answer here, timesing it by the original number, and you should get that answer. So that's how you'll always check your multiplication. You'll take your answer times your second number here, and you should get your first number back. Okay? Question number 3. What is the value of 1/5 divided by 4? So I'm going to write it down. Make 4 over 1. And I want you to keep, change, and flip. So keep the first number, change the division to a multiplication, and flip the last one. And then I want you to go over there and type in your answer. Okay? You should have gotten 1/20 as your answer. Okay? Solve the value of this expression, 4 divided by 1/3. Keep, change, flip. If you'll take a moment and you're going to get an answer, it's going to just be a whole number. So just type in the whole number. Okay, you should have gotten 12. Okay, on the back here, problem number 5. Tabitha has 1/3 of a gallon of lemonade. She shares the gallon equally among 3 friends. Select the equation that shows how to calculate the fraction of the the gallon of lemonade. Now you'll notice there is no division sign here. So what they want you to do is they want you to work backwards in the sense. She has 1/3 of a gallon. She's dividing it among 3 people, and you're going to get an answer. And when you get an answer, you're going to need to figure out, remember, we're going to work backwards. So you're going to take your 1/3, you're going to keep, you're going to change, and you're going to get an answer. Remember, this answer and times this answer should get you the correct answer. So you're working with this number here, and then you should get your correct answer and make sure you're correct. So if you'll choose A, B, or C, or D, and you should have chosen B, B would have been your correct answer. Remember, you're going to make sure that you put this in your center folder so that I can go over, check this with them. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me.